So this video is going to be a breakdown of how we helped one of our clients scale from $0 to $873,000 per month on Shopify. So without further ado, let's dive in. And before we dive in, just so that you guys know that this is in fact real, there's a quick refresh on the fact that we did actually scale them to $872,616.97 in Shopify. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 pillars that we implemented for one of our clients in order to take them from $0 to $873,000 per month on Shopify. So before we dive into the 3 pillars, here is the progress. January 1st, January 31st, $872,616.97. Now, as you guys know, I like to think in terms of pillars and structures and buckets. First pillar that we implemented is efficient and scalable customer acquisition. And what does this mean? This means that, first of all, we have ad creative, media buying, and conversion rate nailed. All 3 of those areas are optimized and working together. The second thing is that the business economics and the CAC target, the customer acquisition target, we have that as an achievable target, even if we increase spend. And the third thing is that there's other sources of revenue, not just paid ads. So let's break each of these down a little bit further. So with our ad creative, a media buying, and a conversion rate, ad creative is really finding winning angles through research. And having those winning angles are going to be your strongest part of your creative. Because once you find those winning angles, you can go deeper and deeper into them. But what's important is that you don't just rely on one angle, and that you have multiple angles that are working that you can use, right? So in other videos, I've broken down our creative process in a lot more detail, which goes deeper into the research and how we actually do the research and extract these angles out, and how we actually create ad creatives around customer psychology and their desires. So I recommend going to watch that one. And the second thing is having a network of strong content creators to pump out ad creative. So I've also spoken in the past about having an ad creative machine, and the content creators who are creating your ads, creating the content that you're going to be using in the ads, those creators are a big part of it, right? Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious, you need the creative to be there. And as you scale ad spend, you need more creative to support that level of ad spend. And you need to find winning content creators as well. But you also need to have enough of them so that if a few drop out, or maybe they're not in town or they can't deliver, then you have other ones that you can work with, right? So I've also spoken about that before as well. Next, we use our creative testing data to create iterations and constantly make the creative better, right? So we're looking at creative metrics such as hook rate, hold rate, outbound CTR. We're not just looking at CAC and ROAS. We do want to look at the other metrics to understand if something is working, how do we create an iteration? If something is not working, how do we create an iteration? And we're always trying to get towards replicating good performance and taking bad performance and creating incremental improvements to get towards better performance. Okay? On the media buying side, is really finding the structure that works in your ad account. There's no one size fits all, but for us, this was testing with ABO and CBO. Sometimes of the year ABO would work, sometimes of the year CBO would work. And then what we would do is we would scale the winning creatives within the same testing campaign by increasing the budget. At this point, we didn't use ASC. We were just scaling it within the same campaign, and that's what worked. Then you want to understand your new customer CAC or ROAS target and optimize towards that. You don't just want to have a ROAS or CAC target alone. You want to have a new customer CAC and ROAS target. And the reason why this is important is because you want to be making sure that you're acquiring new customers efficiently, and that your CAC or ROAS doesn't also include, people who are also just coming back and repurchasing, or attributed purchases that are actually, existing customers coming back and purchasing from you. It's important to have that separation, and that way you'll continue growing your new customer base efficiently. Then you want to use Triple L to help with their decision making. You want to focus on 2 platforms that work for you. For us, this was Meta and Google. Focus is key. You don't want to be having tons of different platforms. There's enough scale on Meta and Google. And then finally, you want to identify the main hero product that performs well and can scale, and focus on that to begin with, right? Especially at the beginning, you don't want to be doing a lot of different product testing once you find what works in terms of your product, your hero product, and your total addressable market is big enough for that product, then you want to focus there as well, right? It's hard to scale multiple products at the same time because you need the creative, you need the conversion rate for now multiple funnels. But if you have one main hero product that performs well and can scale, then focus there. Now on the conversion rate side, a big part of conversion rate is your offer. So find an offer structure that works for your hero product. An offer doesn't always mean like a percentage discount off. It also means the structure of the offer itself. So as I'll talk about in a moment, we had a one-time and subscription option. We also had a price discrepancy against, one of the main traditional ways of getting this product. But you also want to package your offer in a way, maybe you can add in some free gifts, find a different structure and test different structures and find one that works best. Then you want to have periodic sale events throughout the year to boost revenue. You create these peaks throughout the year. So of course, Q4 and Black Friday and Christmas, but you also want to be looking at other times in the year where it makes sense. So you have, in the US, Memorial Day, you have Labor Day, you have President's Day, 4th of July, right? All these sale and events, Valentine's Day, where you can create these peaks of revenue. And those are actually really, really important to making sure that you can maintain growth year round. Then you want to always be optimizing your website to increase conversion rate. We put a lot of focus on increasing the hero product PDP, so the product page itself, and increasing the conversion rate there, because we knew if we did that, we would continue to get better at acquiring customers efficiently, right? And by doing that, it would give us more and more room to be able to spend more on customer acquisition. And once you find winning creatives, then you want to test landing pages based on the winning angles that you have from your creatives. Landing page format that worked for us the best was a 5 reasons why listicle, where the CTAs on that page, on the listicle itself, directed the traffic to the PDP. So they go from ad to listicle to PDP, and then they purchase. Listicle was great because it added a step of education, right? So rather than creating friction in the sales process, it added an education step, right? And you want to test landing pages, but you might find that just sending people to a collections page or sending people to a product page works better. But what I like to say, especially when you start to spend 100, 200k a month on ads, you want to have different landing pages other than your collections page or your product page that work for you, because it allows you to spread some of that risk. So moving into business economics and CAC target that's achievable, even if we increase ad spend. So first things first, you want to make sure your margins on the hero product are strong, ideally at least 60%. You want to make sure your AOV is high enough to hit an achievable CAC target. For USA, our AOV was $120 and our target new customer ROAS was 2x. So in our case, AOV was high enough where a $60 new customer acquisition cost was achievable. For example, if you have a $40 AOV, it's very, very difficult, unless you're acquiring customers at a 1x or 1.2x. It's very, very difficult to maintain profitability on first customer purchase, especially as you scale. So make sure that those are dialed in. Then you want to add in upsells throughout the checkout process to increase AOV further. So not just having a good AOV on the product itself, but bumping up the AOV throughout the purchase process. So having pre-purchase and post-purchase upsells that allow customers to add, $5, $10 here to the AOV. That really, really makes a big difference. Then you want to test bundles as well. So if you have a bundle, like a starter pack that you can put together that makes sense for your offer, I would definitely test that because that will increase AOV, but it could also be a good offer structure as well to, especially for those first time customers coming into the brand. Now, third thing, other sources of revenue, not just paid ads. The majority of your sales can come from ads. This was the case for us, and especially when revenue is lower, your sales from your ads are going to make up the majority. But as you scale, you need other sources of traffic and revenue to help you out and grow the top of funnel. So it's not even just increasing revenue through other traffic sources and diversifying. It's also growing the top of funnel audience that you can then target through ads, right? Getting people from the stage of not knowing about your brand to knowing about your brand. And when you show them your ads, it's going to be a lot easier to convert them. So we had SEO and organic search. We had email newsletter marketing. This isn't Klaviyo, but this is not like email marketing. It's actually third-party email newsletters that have big audiences, and you can place ads and features in their newsletter. So that's something that we did. Affiliate marketing and TV ads. We tested a little bit of TV ads. Didn't really work well for a long period, but still worth testing. Cool. So coming to pillar number 2 is strong LTV and recurring revenue through subscriptions. So just to talk about the subscription model, the business, the client we work with have a subscription model, and that leads to recurring revenue that compounds over time. The subscription model was so attractive that the majority of first-time customers opted for the subscription option rather than the one-time purchase option. This is usually the other way around, right? So it's usually that people don't want the subscription, and maybe a small percentage go for the subscription model. But in this case, it was the other way around. And the reason for this is because the subscription model wasn't just a standard, subscribe and save 10%. It had multiple perks for the customer that made it a no-brainer to go for the subscription option. And the churn on the subscription option was also really low. This is really, really important. You don't just want to acquire subscribers and then have them churn out a few months later. You want to really focus on your customer experience and the quality of the product so that customers stay in the subscription. And what that means is that the LTV stayed strong after we acquired subscribers. So not only were we acquiring subscribers efficiently, we were also retaining those subscribers because the product and the experience was so good. And then moving on to pillar number 3 is new product launches and strong customer retention strategy. What this means is that, first of all, we have new products launched every 4 to 6 months. And second thing is that Klaviyo flows and campaign scaling cadence was dialed in. So new product launches, what this means is that when you launch a new product, you get an immediate influx of revenue from those new launches, which is great. It helps to create those peaks of revenue. And secondly, the additional accessories that customers can add on to the hero product allow us to increase AOV during checkout. So this is not just something for increasing AOV and increasing revenue from your existing customer base and your existing email list. It's also the new customers that are coming in from our ads. Now they have, we can test different upsell strategies and offers throughout the purchase process with these additional accessory products. And that being said, if you're launching another product that could become, an additional hero product, it allows you to do that as well. And the second thing here is that Klaviyo flows and campaign sending cadence were dialed in. So with Klaviyo, main flows are set up and optimized to ongoing A/B testing on subject lines, send times, and content. We had 3 to 4 campaigns sent per week with educational content, social proof, answering objections, product launches, promotional offers, upsells, everything, right? We had really diversified content. And, we were A/B testing within the content itself to increase CTR. We also had an effective strategy to turn one-time customers into subscribers. This is really, really important, and so many brands who have subscription models don't do this. If you're acquiring subscribers and you have a subscription model, but you have a percentage of your customer base who are not subscribers, you should have flows and campaigns and strategies set up to convert those one-time customers into subscribers. And then lastly is improving deliverability by monitoring inbox rate, sending to engaged audiences, and making sure the DNS is set up correctly. So deliverability is key. If your deliverability is not dialed in, it doesn't really matter how many emails you send and what the content is. And this is an ongoing process. It's not a one and done. You need to be monitoring deliverability and have some tools that are going to help you do that. So that is that for Klaviyo. And that is really the process that allowed us and things that we implemented and still have to be able to hit 873k per month on Shopify and grow from 0 to this number and beyond. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.